My sister reconnected with our parents after they abandoned her, and she forbade me from going to her baby shower, but her husband invited me so I could tell the whole truth. When I was 18, my mom and dad packed up and left. They'd always been somewhat unstable, but I didn't think they'd go this far. I had just graduated, was working full-time at a grocery store, and they left me and my 12-year-old sister, Anna, at home with almost nothing. They told her they were going to settle in and would tell us where they were so we could go with them later, but that never happened. At first, I thought about calling Child Protective Services or trying to get help through an official channel, but I knew how that would end. They'd separate us, Anna would probably be taken to foster care, and God knows what would happen to her. So I made a decision. I stayed. I picked up extra shifts and dropped out of the community college I was planning to attend. My life became work and making sure Anna was okay. That was it. It wasn't easy, and I'm not trying to make myself out to be some kind of saint. There were times when I felt resentful, tired, angry, especially watching people our age living normal lives, while I tried to figure out how to pay for food and the things a girl needs in school. But I did it. I kept a roof over our heads. I gave up a lot of things so Anna wouldn't have to. I helped her finish school, apply to college, co-sign loans, and helped her move into her dorm. I wasn't just her big sister. I was a kind of mother to her. When she graduated and moved into her own place, I thought maybe we'd start being just sisters again. That maybe the worst was over. And for a while, it was okay. We remained close. I never held my sacrifices against him or made him feel like he owed me anything. I just wanted him to live the life I couldn't. Now Anna is an adult. She's got a job. She's in a relationship with a man, and she's about 6 months pregnant. A couple of months ago, we were talking about the baby shower. I was helping her plan it. Then she started withdrawing, not answering messages, canceling meetings. I thought she was overwhelmed, tired, or just the stress of everything. I don't know, but something wasn't right. It turns out she reconnected with our parents. I didn't even hear it from her. I found out from a cousin who saw them all together at a branch. I confronted Anna, and she admitted it was true. She said they'd been in touch, and that she wanted to give them a chance, that she wanted to start over and let them be a part of the baby's life. I told her she could do whatever she wanted, but that she needed to be careful, and she told me I was being negative and stuck in the past. Then she told me I wasn't invited to the baby shower anymore because it was going to be a positive family event, and she didn't want any drama. I don't think I'd ever felt that kind of betrayal before. I raised this girl. I gave up everything to make sure she didn't have to sacrifice her life like I did. And now she cares little about this and disinvites me like it's nothing. I think the reason is that she doesn't want to tell people the truth, that her parents abandoned her and her older sister, and that I stepped in and became a mom for 6 years while they did whatever they were doing. No, she lets them act like they've always been in her life, like they've supported her. It would have been one thing if she had said she wanted to give them a chance and forgive them. That's their decision, not mine. I know I don't want to do that, but I'm not going to force her. However, leaving me at the first opportunity because they came back is a betrayal. I worked 2 jobs, so she could stay in her dorm and not come back to a freezing apartment with no food. I took out loans just to cover her textbooks for 1 semester. And now these 2 so-called parents are acting like they've done something. I contacted her again and told her this was crossing a line. She basically told me that if I really cared about her, I should let her have this moment and not bring up the past, that it wasn't about me. And I guess that's what really bothers me, realizing that she only saw me as a ticket to a good life. But now that she has it, that she's in a stable relationship and a baby on the way, she doesn't need me anymore. I never expected a big reward or recognition, but I didn't think she'd erase me. I didn't think they'd treat me like a bitter ex-relative just trying to cause trouble. She used to call me when she was having a bad day. Now she doesn't even tell people I exist. I even heard someone at her work ask if she had any siblings, and she said no. The final straw for me was hearing that our parents are now taking credit for raising us, telling people they made some mistakes, but ultimately made it through with us. I can't stay with that. I can't pretend it didn't happen. And if Anna is going to let them feed a lie to create an image they think is better than the real one, then I don't care anymore. I haven't contacted her again, but I'm seriously considering sending a message to her boyfriend, Elian. I think he'd at least listen. Maybe he doesn't even know the real story. I'm not trying to destroy his life or sabotage his relationship, but I think he deserves to know what kind of family he's getting into. And honestly, I want at least one person in that circle to know the truth. So, would I be a horrible person if I told him? Update 1. I ended up texting Elian, Anna's boyfriend, for those who don't know yet. I didn't want to drag him into something that wasn't his, but at the same time, I felt like he deserved to know who these people really were before they were given the good parents version. So I just texted him and asked if we could meet for coffee. I told him it was about family matters. He didn't ask too many questions, just said, "Sure, tell me the place and time." We met the next day. I told him everything, including how they didn't even say goodbye to Anna. They just left a note and left. I still have the note, by the way. It's vague and full of nonsense like, "We'll come back when things are resolved." Things were never resolved, or they resolved that we weren't important in their lives. When I finished, he said he had a feeling something wasn't right. According to him, Anna had told him our parents had always been in the background, just too busy to be constantly present, that they were going through financial difficulties, but kept in touch, that they supported her however they could. It was such a strange thing to hear. Honestly, I laughed, not because it was funny, but because I didn't even know I'd rewritten it so much. And Elian could see I wasn't really laughing. He just said something like, "I figured there was more to it than that." He said he appreciated my honesty, and that he wasn't going to start a fight or anything, just talk to Anna. I told him that's all I wanted. I didn't need him to fix it, just to know what really happened. Anna showed up at my house 2 days later. I knew from the second I saw her face that it wasn't going to be a friendly visit. I was furious. He told me I was trying to sabotage his family, that I always wanted him to hate our parents. He said I was manipulative and playing the victim to gain sympathy, that he needed everyone to see me as a savior to feel better about his life. I only asked him one thing. Why was he letting people believe things that weren't true? His response: "They want to be a part of my life, and I want to have real parents. It's not that I really consider myself her mother, but I acted like one and sacrificed like one, even though I didn't need to." It's impossible to know, but sometimes I think, with everything going on, what would have happened if I had called Child Protective Services? She said maybe I needed therapy. I told her maybe she needed a reality check. Eventually, she stormed off. I wasn't going to stop her. After she left, I kept thinking about what she said to me, about me having a savior complex, about controlling her. And I'll be honest, it made me doubt because honestly, yes, I was strict as a teenager. I was a kid trying to act like a mother, and I probably overcorrected. She didn't go out to parties or anything, but I was strict with her about grades, assignments, about staying safe because I was afraid of losing her too. I didn't have any role models. Our parents were never really present, even before they left. And when they left, I just improvised. I never asked to be his mother. I simply didn't see any other option. And maybe I made some decisions that were more out of fear than love. But I was always there for her, and I don't think being permissive would have helped either. I think it would be worse now. If she has an education and a good life, it's thanks to her efforts and mine, but she seems to forget that last part. I also keep thinking about Elian, about what he must be thinking now that he knows both sides of the story. I haven't heard from him since Anna came, but I wouldn't blame him if he's handling it carefully. I know I made mistakes, but I was there when it mattered. When she was crying because she didn't understand why Mom and Dad weren't coming back. When I was rummaging through the couch cushions for money for food. When she graduated from high school and I applauded loudest because I felt like we'd made it together. Anyway, I don't think there's any way to fix things with Anna. It's not like I can just overlook her betrayal and carry on as if nothing happened. Because I'm very clear about one thing. My parents haven't changed, even though I haven't seen them, and I'm likely to disappoint her again. But she's grown up now, and I won't be there for her. My homework is done. Update 2. One of my old school friends messaged me after the baby shower. We haven't spoken in a while, but she was close to Anna growing up, and she still keeps in touch. She was invited to the baby shower, and was able to tell me some of the things that happened. She told me our parents were there acting like the proudest grandparents in the world. That didn't surprise me. What did surprise me was what they were saying. Apparently, they've been telling this whole story about how I was a difficult teenager who ran away from home when I turned 18, making Anna's life difficult. That they were there for her, and that I was nothing more than a difficult person who came in and out of her life, hurting her every chance I got. It's something they can share because part of my sister's group are people she bonded with when she went to college, people I don't know. A perfect group of listeners for my parents to change the story of what they did. Only my friend and Elian knew anything about this, but it didn't help much either. Both my friend and Elian tried to say something, but my sister silenced them. Elian contacted me the morning after the baby shower. He apologized and said he didn't know they would go that far. He said he tried to intervene when he heard them talking, but Anna pulled him aside to say a few things. She told him he was making things worse and was trying to disrespect his parents by embarrassing them. They ended up arguing, and he ended up going home, leaving my sister there. My friend also left when my sister told her to shut up. It doesn't change anything in my life that these people I don't know think that about me or believe my parents, but it does hurt that my own sister does it. If the roles were reversed, I would owe everything to my sister. I wouldn't have contacted my parents about what they did, and I'd be the first to shut them up because I was so grateful. But realizing I sacrificed so many things I won't get back, is what hurts the most. Even my partner tells me this is all wearing on me, because he sees me sad, depressed, and listless. But all I can think about is that I had plans and couldn't follow through. I don't know if I would have made my life very different, but I wish I had tried. I would have gone to community college and gained some knowledge. And until now, I thought he did it for a noble reason, which is why it hurts so much. Elian said he's going to talk to Anna again. He doesn't agree with what's happening, but he also said she's completely closed off. I don't know what you expect to come out of that. And honestly, I don't expect much. I don't think it will make much of a difference. I just wish he'd have the courage to admit it out loud. And I wish he'd at least stop spitting on the years I sacrificed to ensure he had a future. I'm sorry I'm dwelling on this so much, but it's all I can think about lately. It's the thought that being good is the worst decision I could have made. If I had really been a bad sister, like I seem to be now, at least I'd have a good life. It's as if karma were attacking me instead of my parents, or that karma doesn't exist and that in life, bad people get what they don't deserve. Update 3. I wasn't planning on going. I told myself I was done after everything that happened, that I needed a mental break from it all. But then Elian texted me again, about a week after the baby shower, apologizing for how things went and saying he wanted to talk. I mostly ignored it, but I thought that after all, there couldn't be anything worse or something that would affect me more. We met at a restaurant for lunch, because it was the most convenient thing for both of us. He looked tired, and not just from the normal tiredness of expecting a baby. She told me that things with Anna had been a mess since that day, that things exploded between them after that. Apparently, Elian told her he didn't want his son to grow up watching her fight with his sister all the time, and that he wished she had handled everything differently. She then asked me if I would go to a dinner Elian's mom was hosting for some family members and close friends. Kind of like a continuation of the baby shower, but smaller and quieter. He said he thought it was time people heard the truth about how Anna was really raised. That I didn't have to go if I didn't want to, but if I did, he'd back me up. At first, I thought it was a trap. But something about the way Elian said it seemed sincere, as if he were really going to support me through all of this. My intention wasn't to go there to show Anna the truth. She knows that very well. But I needed to get things off my chest and say a few things, because everything that was happening seemed unfair to me, and I couldn't say anything more. The dinner was held at Elian's mom's house. There were about 12 of us there. Había algunos amigos de Ana, sus cuñados, y algunos amigos mayores de la familia. Mis padres ya estaban cuando leg. Mi miraron de reojo. A mitad de la cena, Elian lo mencionó. Dijo algo sobre lo orgulloso que estaba de Ana, pero que era importante reconocer como llegó hasta ahí. Luego me preguntó si me molestaría contarles a todos como fue después de que nuestros padres se fueron. Me dio el pie perfecto para que yo dijera todo lo que necesitaba sacar de dentro mío. Dije que cuando tenía 18 años, ellos se empacaron y se mudaron a otro estado sin previo aviso y dejaron a Ana conmigo. Dije que no fui a la universidad, trabajé en dos empleos y me aseguré de que él siguiera en la escuela. Fuimos a terapia. Se graduó y tuvo un futuro. Dije que nuestros padres estuvieron ausentes durante años. Seis de los cuales me convertí en mamá para ella. No hubo visitas, no hubo llamadas telefónicas, no hubo tarjetas de cumpleaños. Simplemente se fueron. La mamá de Ana, porque no la consideró mi madre y ella parece que sí, interrumpió con un comentario sobre cómo eso no era del todo cierto. Pero le dije que ese colera como lo hizo durante años porque los adultos estaban hablando, y ella nunca se comportó como uno. Le dije, desaparecer de la vida de tus hijos y es totalmente cierto, y no hay matices o estupideces que lo suavicen. Fue una elección, y que ahora este llena de vergüenza porque todo el mundo aquí, incluso padres como los suyos de Ana, bien la clase de basura de padres que son no es mi problema. Los padres de Elian le preguntaban a Elian si todo esto era cierto, y él decía que sí. También dije que Ana era una desagradecida, que no aprecio nada de lo que hice, y que valoraba más un par de seres humanos horribles que la dejaron con solo 12 años a su hermana, que le dio todo lo que tenía y más. Padres que por cierto no tuvieron ninguna responsabilidad, ni sentimental, ni paternal, ni económica con su hija menor. Lo cual puso un poco nerviosos a mis padres. Y debieron porque estoy hablando con un abogado sobre mi caso. Ana no dijo mucho, ni siquiera a su esposo. No los defendió, pero tampoco me defendió a mí. Simplemente, mantuvo la cabeza agachada y dijo que no quería discutir sobre el pasado, y que no quería que su bebé creciera rodeado de pelis, que es lo que supuestamente sabía que haría en nuestros padres estaban cerca de ella durante la vida de su hijo. Después de eso, la cena prácticamente terminó. La gente comenzó a inventar excusas para irse temprano. La mamá de Elian me abrazó cuando me fui y me dijo que estaba feliz de que hubiera ido. Parece lo más extraño, pero fue lo más maternal que recibí en toda mi vida, y de alguien que apenas conocía. Ana apenas me miró mientras me iba, pero no me arrepiento de haber ido. Dije lo que tenía que decir, lo que quería que escuchara mi hermana, y eso es todo lo que me importa. No sé hacia donde van las cosas desde aquí. Estoy cansada. He pasado más de la mitad de mi vida tratando de mantener una relación que claramente no importa a Ana de la misma manera en que a mí me importa. Elian no ha dicho mucho desde entonces. Sé que lo que hizo y como lo hizo debe haber causado problemas en su matrimonio. Me apena por él, pero no por mi hermana. Me apena que todo esto esté causando problemas en su matrimonio, pero no me apena que ese matrimonio sea con mi hermana. Y es una mujer que se olvida de años convenientemente para sacar un provecho para ella. No estoy en la cabeza de Elian en este momento, pero debe estar pensando lo mismo. Si no hubiera hecho lo que hizo. No me hubiera dado para que las cosas sucedieran como sucedió. Edition, sí, estoy en pláticas con un abogado. Puedo presentar una demanda por pensión alimenticia atrasada. No me devolverá el tiempo perdido, pero puedo recuperar algo del dinero hará toda la diferencia. Actualization 4. Ana se puso en contacto conmigo unas 2 semanas después de la cena. Al principio solo fue un mensaje de texto. Solo decía, ¿quieres que nos encontremos? Me quedé pensando en ello un rato antes de responder. Pero me di cuenta de que aceptar sería como volver a los viejos hábitos de estar disponible en cuanto ella necesitara algo. Le dije que tenía algún problema en este momento. Ella podría recurrir a sus padres. Me dijo que no era nada de eso, y que realmente tenía que decirme algo. Así que acepta encontrarme 15 minutos en Union Park cerca de Michigan casa. También necesitaba que me devolviera algunos suéteres que le había prestado con los años. Admitió que no sabía cómo manejar todo. Que ver en nuestros padres de nuevo hizo algo en su cabeza. La hizo sentir que tal vez las cosas podrían arreglarse, aunque eso significara mentirse a sí misma sobre lo que realmente sucedió. Dijo que no esperaba que llegara tan lejos, y que para cuando se dio cuenta de lo enredado que estaba todo, no sabía cómo retroceder sin hacerla parecer la mala. Le dije que su excusa o disculpa medias no me estaba conmoviendo, que no hacía ninguna diferencia con todo lo que había hecho. Ella no discutió, tampoco se defendió. Solo dijo que sentía mucho haberme lastimado, que se había dejado atrapar tratando de construir algo nuevo sin enfrentar primero lo viejo. Dijo que tenía miedo de ser vista como débil o necesitada. Que se admitió lo que nuestros padres hicieron. Eso la hacía sentirse como esa niña abandonada, dejada atrás y dependiente. Le dije que lo entendía, pero que eso no justificaba dar la espalda a la única persona que nunca se fue. Me preguntó si podíamos empezar de nuevo. Le dije, no, eso no va a suceder. Me demostrés que no debo confiar en las personas, y me va a tomar mucho tiempo sanar eso. Algún día volveré a confiar en alguien, pero ese alguien estoy segura de que no serás tú. No voy a volver a ese rol en el que cargo con todo mientras los demás son las víctimas o los héroes, dependiendo del público. Luego le pedí que me diera la bolsa, donde se suponía que tenía mis cosas y me fui. El bebé nació hace unos días. No estuve en el hospital, pero Elian me envió un mensaje al día siguiente y me dijo que podía pasar esa carrera. Sigo siendo mi sobrino, pero no sé si quiero conocerlo. No quiero que eso sea una forma de ablandar para que acepte nuevamente a mi hermana. Elian lo sabe y me ha dicho que lo entendía, que solo pregunto por si quería hacerlo. También he estado hablando con él, y él dice que todavía está con Ana, está considerando el divorcio. Hasta ahora, estaba durmiendo en la habitación de invitados, lo que explica por qué Ana me contactó. Quizás aceptar que lo que hizo estuvo mal la ayuda a reparar su relación con Elian. Yo ya he tomado mi decisión, aunque sus disculpas fueron genuinas, pero no puedo pensar por Elian. La demanda está casi lista y estamos a punto de presentarla para demandar oficialmente a mis padres. No sé cuánto pueden tardar estas cosas, pero mi plan es no volver a actualizar, al menos que suceda algo muy importante en el medio, hasta que esté complete. Actualization 5. No puedo predecir el futuro. No sé cuáles serán los números de la lotería, pero siempre estuve segura de que mis padres se irían, abandonando a mi hermana de nuevo. Sería criminal no pensarlo, cuando son las clases de padres que han sido siempre. Era la apuesta más segura. Si pudiera apostar sobre eso y ganado millions. No estaría escribiendo aquí supongo, pero en estos meses ha sucedido más que eso. He demandado y he ganado la demanda. Mis padres han tenido que pagar una suma cercana a $50,000. Y es bueno que sus vidas hayan mejorado en lo económico cuando se fueron de las nuestras, porque eso permitió que tuvieran que pagar, aunque hipotecando de nuevo su casa. Ya he estado gastando parte de ese dinero. Pero no en Las Vegas para provocar mis nuevos dones de adivinadora del futuro, sino para compensar mis años perdidos. Tengo poco más de 30 ahora, y muchos han intentado levantar mi ánimo en otras publications, diciendo que no era tan vieja para ir a la universidad. Quizás no lo soy, pero en aquel entonces si era pobre como para pagar una aunque comunitaria. Sin embargo, esta demanda, que incluía mis oportunidades perdidas por cuidar a mi hermana debido a mis padres, me ha dado una segunda oportunidad. Voy a ahorrar el resto mientras uso parte para pagar mis estudios. Espero que al terminar no solo tenga un mejor trabajo y un mejor futuro, sino suficientemente ahorrado todavía para hacer el pago inicial de una casa o apartamento. Mi hermana está divorciada, compartiendo la custodia de su hijo con Elian. I believe Elian filed for divorce a week after I last posted. I don't know what I can tell you about that. It was just a divorce, and that's it. Elian's reasons are the ones I've already told you. Fear that she might do the same to him in the future. No matter how many happy years of marriage there are for someone like my sister, the day she thinks cheating is okay and justified, she'll forget about it all. And if it's not that, it could be hundreds of other things. In any case, this decision wasn't influenced by me. We never discussed her idea of getting divorced beyond her telling me she was thinking about it, and then when she'd already made the decision to do so. And my parents ran away as soon as I filed the lawsuit. But the lawsuit doesn't go away if you move to another state. It just makes you look worse, as if you're running away from your responsibilities. They had to come back for some appointments anyway. It doesn't make up for lost time. I could be married, with a child, and having a much better life. But at the same time, I've been working through my feelings with someone, and I'm starting to see some sunshine. I feel optimistic about everything that's happened, and my prospects from now on. Now I have my future in my hands. I'm the only one who can change things, and I plan to do so. Update 6. It all started 4 years ago, when I wrote my first post. It's changed my life so much in those years. I'm even closer to the life I would have had if it weren't for my sister. I got married 4 months ago. But there are no plans for a baby yet, because I still have a few classes left to complete toward a degree at the community college I'm attending. The good news is that I now have a job related to my field of study, and with that, a better salary. So my life is heading where I always wanted it, even if it's a few years later. I still don't have a relationship with my sister or my parents, and that's how I want it. The distance between us is so great that I haven't heard from them. Not even my friend, the one who went to the original baby shower, is still in touch. I've spoken to Elian since then, and he's dating someone now. But as far as my sister is concerned, we haven't talked about her at all. For me, she's a bad memory, a nightmare, but now I'm waking up and feeling much better.